Hey, Spartan fans, welcome to this week's edition of the MBU Men's Basketball Coaches Show. My name is Trevor Rich alongside head coach Taylor Jarvis. Spartan fans, the Spartans went 1-1 last week, first with a victory last Wednesday over the Mission Patriots, an 87-80 victory. Javaris Moye was outstanding, 30 points, school record, 8 steals. Coach, can you talk about his performance in that one?
Yeah, I was really proud of him. He put together a really well-rounded performance on both ends of the floor. He's a guy that's been very productive for us. He's been somebody that teams have had to scout on the defensive end as well as the offensive end, and he was able to kind of put it together. He had some big shots that game too. We were in a dogfight, so he made some great plays. And at the end of the day, you got to have great players to be a great team, and he's one of those guys that we can rely on night in and night out. Especially on the defensive end to make those plays.
You know, at the end of that game, the Spartans were up 1 with like 30 seconds left, and J-Mo, as we call him here, he hit that dagger 3, and that's one of those shots you see in basketball where you're like, he's really got ice in his veins.
Yes, and he can shoot it too. So, I mean, I trust him with that shot, and that's why he's continuing to shoot it because he's capable of doing it. But he's a gamer. You know, when the lights are the brightest, he usually steps up and is able to perform.
Not only did he score 30 points, he was the first Spartan to score 30 points since a year ago when Brevin McMullen did the same.
Yep, so 2 of them under my regime. And Brevin that game, he got hot from deep. And I remember that game. He came out and hit some early threes. And it was good to see Brevin be able to put that together. But scoring 30 points in any game at any level is difficult. I mean, there's a lot of shots that have to go in. So both those guys are extremely talented.
It certainly is. They both are. And let's go back to the defensive side of the ball. J-Mo has been named Heart of America Defensive Player of the Week in back-to-back weeks. Coach, what does that mean to him and your program?
It's where we pride ourselves on the defensive side of the ball. And he's one of those guys that's kind of a face of our defense. And we talked about it early. He represents being tough, physical, and aggressive. My challenge to him is to make sure we can find a few more minutes of it. You know, he gets winded a few times, and his stamina sometimes comes into effect. And moving forward, just to get even more productive minutes on the defensive end. But it goes back to not just him, but the rest of the team doing their jobs, being in the correct positions, making sure that we're jumping to the basketball, showing high hands. It's something that we pride ourselves, like I said. So it's great to be able to get that award. J-Mo is a big piece of it, but it's also the team being able to execute and defend alongside him.
Spartans defeated Mission. You improved to 9-0. Then on Saturday, you headed to Graceland, first place matchup in the Heart of America Conference. Tough road environment. Unfortunately, it was a 79-66 loss, first loss of the season. Coach, can you just talk about what happened in that game?
Yeah, so going into the game, pregame speech was about effort. In these road games, it's about effort and being able to find a few ways to create some points because when 2 top teams are playing in the Heart of America, it's going to be a close game. And I thought our guys gave great effort. In the first half, we were right there. We struggled to make a few jump shots. They did a great job switching and really loading the paint up, so we had to come up with some different solutions. Our guys did a good job. We saw a few shots fall in the first half, but our percentages were still low, and that kind of dug us a hole, as well as 2 silly mistakes. One of them was the flagrant 1 foul where we had the rebound and Isaiah elbowed the other guy in the head. He's 94 feet away from the basket. I think he should be getting back on defense, and he didn't make a basketball play, which caused the elbow, but that gave them the basketball back. It actually led to a 6-point play. And then we had a late technical out of frustration from our freshman, Tristan, which gave them a few more points. And that's what created the deficit. It was really our mistakes in the first half, some immaturities, being in a hostile environment for the first time really on the road outside of Brescia. Those things are going to pop up. And to me, that first half, we played a great game effort-wise. If we make a few shots and we don't have those silly mistakes, the score's flipped because I thought we did a great job defending them. So then we came back in halftime. We talked, we discussed, we looked at the numbers. We said what was true. We're not shooting great. These are our numbers. We are taking care of the basketball at a decent rate. We're defending well. We haven't given up a ton of offensive rebounds. So we focused on the things that we needed to change. And I thought we came out of the gates with great energy and we climbed back into that game. The last 5 minutes, we only scored 4 points. And and that was kind of the difference of the game. It was 62-63 with about 5 minutes left in the game, and we settled for a jump shot, and then they came back down, and they got fouled at the rim, and after that, we kind of went cold offensively. And overall, we didn't shoot the ball great. It's a tricky place to shoot. It's a big dome where it's got each backdrop's different, and it was hot in there. So there are some different environmental aspects that could play a part of that. But we tell our guys, if it's an orange hoop and an orange ball, no matter where you're at, you're going to be able to shoot it if you're a shooter. So that's not an excuse. It's opportunity to be better, to be able to play a team like that so close, to have the free throw deficit of where their top player shot more free throws than our whole team, and to be in the game with 5 minutes left, it's a 1-point game. For us to shoot that poorly, it means there's a lot of opportunity for growth. And that's what our focus was after the game. It wasn't that it was our first loss. It was, how are we going to learn from this so this mistake doesn't happen again? Where were we successful, and where do we need to create some more advantages, or where do we need to fix? And today we were right back in here, 6:30 a.m. in the morning. We went right back at it. We got to work, and we're going to continue to adjust and fix those things. So to me, it's all positive. It was a great challenge for us. It was great to see success, even though we didn't shoot a great percentage. And there's so much opportunity for growth within this team that, it's a special team that we're coaching, or that I'm coaching, and the players on it. But it's a great sign to have opportunity of growth, especially this early in the year. So I can't wait to see February 14th when they come back in, what the result is. So that date has a big red circle on it now. So I can't wait for Graceland, any Graceland fans who are watching this, I can't wait for you guys to come back into our gym on February 14th, because we'll be ready to go.
That'll be a great game, and that'll be a good opportunity for the Spartans to get some revenge.
Yep.
And what I was going to mention is, despite the 13-point loss, what it says on the stat sheet, the game was a lot closer, as you mentioned. And I think it can be good to be used as a measuring stick for your team going forward. You mentioned a lot of your young guys playing in a hostile environment for the first time like this. What kind of opportunity does this game, or what did this game present itself to your team for the rest of the season? What growth can you see your guys learning from this?
The young guys, it's personal, it's reactions, it's being able to handle emotions, it's being able to, sometimes put the blinders on and have individual focus and not see everything that's going on, which as a young guy, it's hard because you're looking at, the fans are yelling and it's hot and they're scoring and they're cheering, but it's making sure you're focused on the right things. It's your actions and what we need to do. And then from our older guys, it's making sure that they keep those guys in line and that they keep us settled down in those moments. But these are great games, especially to have on the road, because it tests you. It tests you mentally, it tests you physically, and it tests your ability to score, especially conceptually as a team. Because Todd and Graceland did a great job scouting us, because they're a really good team. So it challenges you in so many different aspects, which then shows you some of the areas you have to work on individually, as well as on a team.
You take away those two technicals late in the game, and as well as the Spartans shot 2 for 22 from beyond the arc. So if you make a couple more of those, you guys are right there.
Yes, yeah, and it's positions of success, and I felt like we were in positions of success. Most of the day, it's just making sure that some of those shots are falling, and I believe in all the guys that are taking threes and taking shots. I believe in them. I know they can shoot them. We've just we've had a rocky start shooting the basketball to start the season, but to me, that's an easy adjustment, especially as a basketball player. I'd rather have that than some interpersonal issues or having to change the whole scheme concept or having defensive issues. So to me, it's something that we're aware of it. Our players are aware of it, and we're going to make sure that they're still confident and that they're getting their shots up.
You're also 9-1, and your shooting can really only improve from here. Sky's the limit for you guys.
Yep.
Let's turn the page to Saturday. One game this week for the Spartans. You're at Benedictine College. The Ravens are 6-5 and 3-2 in league play. Can you give us a little preview for our matchup on Saturday?
Tough team. 3 guards, 2 forwards. They're going to be a team that their guards, score a majority of their baskets. They're a very jump shot heavy team. They're not Mission was very downhill, lots of drives. Graceland downhill, lots of drives. These guys are going to be setting pin downs, flares, ball screens to get their guards open. And then they do have really good size. They have 4 to 8 forwards that are 6'6" to 6'8", and they're versatile and they're physical and they set great screens. So it's going to test our communication from our forwards to make sure that our guards are getting through the action, that they're able to cover up, they're able to rebound. And then our guards have to step up, defeat ball screens, have great closeouts, because this is a team that's going to shoot more jump shots and rely on ball movement more than the dribble. So somewhat of a change of pace from the last 2 games that we've played. But that's a good thing, because we need to keep growing our defensive shell, and this is another challenge or another flip of a switch where we have to now have great closeouts, high hands, protect the perimeter, and then make sure that we're cleaning up the boards, because they do have a little bit more size on us at their 4 position. But it's a great matchup. Benedictine, historically, in the heart of America, has been a really competitive team. They've always been really well coached. Ryan has been there for a good amount of time. He's a very good coach. So it's another great challenge, and that's the best part about playing in the heart of America, is night in, night out. In the heart of America, you're going to be challenged. You're going to play different styles and different types of teams. So every game is going to be interesting. But I love that it's on the road, because we need another road challenge after this last one to keep growing. And to continue to build, so then we have that confidence and we keep making sure that we're pushing in the right direction, especially on the road to see another win out there.
I love it. And Spartan fans, next week, we won't be back here on the Coaches Show for about a month. We're going to take a break over the holidays. We wish you all a Merry Christmas. Early in the week on the road, you head to Tennessee for that one.
Yep.
And then next Friday, to close out the Christmas break, home game against Columbia.
The Cougars are coming in. It's a good rivalry.
Which they might be looking for some revenge for.
They for sure are. They have not lost outside of us this year. So they've been playing great basketball, and that's a game I can't wait to have them back. It's always a fun game to play against them. And Bethel, Tennessee only has 1 loss on the year. I think they're 9-1 or 10-1, and they've been playing great basketball. And coach down there is a old school. They got some hard hat guys. They're big and physical as well. So Benedictine to Bethel, it actually matches up pretty well. They're similar. So we have a great test here on the road, and then we get to finish it with a rival right at home before we go into break. So this is the type of games and type of basketball you want to be playing, and I know our guys are ready for the challenge, and the staff and the players will be ready to go and prepared to make the most out of these games before we get into Christmas break.
And Coach, kudos to you for scheduling tough non-conference games. I mean, 2 teams next week, certainly that are going to be tough tests for you. So
yep.
Kudos to that, and those will certainly help prepare you for the second half of the season as we really get deep into conference play. Spartan fans, we thank you for watching this edition of the MBU Men's Basketball Coaches. So, Coach, we wish you good luck this week. We wish you good luck next week and through the rest of the month of December. Spartan fans, we will be back in January for our next edition of the Coaches Show.